What is up, everybody? Welcome to another Geek Alley gaming vid, and I got with me Jamie Butterworth.
Yo, what's up, guys?
It has been a while since we did a vid together, so I figured I'd bring him in on a Breath of the Wild discussion. Now, this one is just basically we're not going to be actually reviewing the game, but there will be some slight spoilers in there for those of you who have not finished the story. So just be warned. We're going to probably, if we do go there, there are going to be some slight spoilers, story wise, at least. Other than that, we're just going to get into it and talk about it. But basically, what we want to talk about tonight is where can they go from here? Because as you remember, this was a port. This was not made from the ground up for Switch. This was a port. So that being said, I like the open world aspect of the game. I think that's one of the probably the best things they did was the whole open world aspect because they made Hyrule ginormous. And I think that's actually a very big plus going forward. I know that we had a article where Al Numa pretty much said that that's here to stay. We've heard stuff like that before. So let me ask you, do you think that's going to be one of the things that's going to be, the staple from now on?
I think it's going to be a staple. I mean, that's kind of what's pushed the Zelda above any of the other ones that have been released in the last 2 decades, to be honest.
I can give you that.
Ever since Ocarina of Time. I mean, it's just, this is the open world and the ability to do so much. And there's lots of times when I'm talking to someone that isn't really that familiar with gaming, and I'm telling them details about Breath of the Wild and this and that and the other thing, and I'll just say something random like, oh, and you have to, make sure you're not climbing up a tree when it's raining or whatever. And they're like, wait, it's that detailed? I'm like, yeah, if it's raining, things are going to be slick. You can't climb. And they're like, I had no idea. So it's a matter of like this massive open world with all this detail that has really made everyone pay attention to this game. If it was just another normal Zelda game or didn't have somebody like Donkey from YouTube trying to fly a freaking raft into the sky, it wouldn't get nearly as much of attention. So it's important for them moving forward that they kind of stick with the open world model because it really works for Zelda.
Yeah, and I agree. Like, you do have to pay attention to the elements in this game because, I would love for you to try to walk through a lightning storm.
Yeah.
Just try to walk through a lightning storm thinking ain't nothing gonna happen to you without rubber armor. Just go on and do it. See how far you get. You were trying to teleport or run to the nearest stable, but
exactly. But what's also fun during a lightning storm is you can drop a metal shield, and you can use the magnesis to place it near an enemy stealthily, and then of course the lightning will strike the shield, electrocuting the enemies, which is another detail that I'm kind of pointing out.
Okay, can I be honest? I tried that and I actually got struck. But yeah. That's neither here nor there. But I was out of shock arrows. I heard about doing that, so I pulled out one of my metal shields. I'm like, let me just go take care of this moblin right quick. And I guess I had the magnesis up too high, and yeah, it got me. So
got no one to blame but yourself.
Pretty much, it was Monster Hunter all over again. But that being said, I agree. Like the way there's so many different ways to like play this game. Like the way that no two people are going to do this thing the same way.
No.
I'm not gonna say it's impossible, but there's so many different other ways to get through every objective that it's awesome and ridiculous all at the same time.
Yeah, things like, I didn't learn until after it was irrelevant that you could use electric chew jellies to complete circuits, or you could string metal weapons and shields from one circuit to another to complete them. That's just another one of those details that usually you have to either be really creative and experimental or find out from someone else.
Yeah. Because the electric choo-choo thing I did find out, but I had to find out from somebody else because I was trying to figure out what the hell am I using this for. And yeah, that
Right.
was one of the reasons, one of the things you could use them for. So yeah, and then basically going on this adventure, it's basically you having to figure out a lot of stuff. So, and nothing says that more than 120 shrines, of which I've only completed about 70 at the moment.
I'm at I'm at 114, I believe.
Oh, so you're almost there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I'm doing shrine quests because I have like 20 of them
Right.
that I've collected, and I'm just going through that line as it is right now. So I think I got like honestly, I think I got like 10 more shrine quests that I have at the moment, and then I'll go just like um
Mhm.
walking around and just doing those ones that I run into that I've been having a hard time finding.
Yeah.
So this game actually introduced voice acting into the franchise. Now the way they did it was they do voice acting during the cutscenes. It's not like it's a mix of that of the text and voice acting. All right, Jamie. Should they go on and just say the hell with it and do full on voice acting for everybody for the
Uh, I
entire
think
game?
I think they should. I think they should. I mean, there was some questionable choices, like Zelda's voice acting is a little weird.
Oh, you mean Princess Renaissance Fair accent?
Yeah, yeah. That was a little odd to me.
Look,
But I mean, the rest of them would seem to be all right.
yeah, like I'm gonna be completely honest here. I think they did a great job. And Zelda's voice at first got on my damn nerves, but over the course of getting all those memories, I'm like, okay, it started to get better to me. Like toward the ending of the memories, it
Hmm.
started to get better. So either I just got used to it, or I just said the hell with it and gave in. But I did like a lot of voices. Like I liked Daruk's voice. I liked Nifa's voice. I can't stand Rivali, but I liked his voice acting. And I liked my girlfriend, Lady Urbosa. Um,
Uh-huh.
I like their voices. I liked how they did it. It pretty much worked. Um, and this is gonna come, and this is like a spoiler because I found this one and I have proof that Link can talk. It is canon now, and they tell you why he chooses not to talk. Ha ha! I win. Because there's actually a memory where they start the memory where Link has stopped, just finished talking, and Zelda started. I'm like, you are not right for that. And when you find it, because the way you find out that Link can talk, it's Zelda's diary in Hyrule Castle. You find it, and it says it plain as day. He talks, but he doesn't talk to everybody because of the situation that he's in. So he pretty much just decides to remain quiet, which completely understandable, seeing as how that probably would have been a stressful situation with everybody's eyes on you, as since you have to fight again and everybody else just has to sit back there and like, yeah, man, we cheering you on, bro. Go take care of that. We believe in you,
Yeah. Yeah,
basically.
you go
So
fight the big shadow pig monster. We'll hang back here. It's fine. You got this.
yeah, you got this. Just remember to get some bacon first. We'll just be back here chilling. We got a cooking pot all waiting for him. But you know, I get that, and like I said, I liked how they did it. But seeing as how it's not as bad as I thought it could be, yeah, I can see them going along and going full voice acting. The only thing is, like in this game, we don't have Ganondorf in here, so we don't have the physical embodiment of human Ganondorf in this game. So I would like to see what they do with that, because if going forward, if they bring him in the next one, I wonder what kind of voice they would give him. Me personally, I'm going with either Morgan Freeman, Benedict Cumberbatch, Liam Neeson, or Chuck Norris vibe here, but that's just my short list. Oh,
Oh
and
yeah, I think Benedict Cumberbatch would be amazing.
and Keira Knightley. Sorry, I had to throw that in there. But yeah, I would like to see where they go with that. Now, I did read a couple of I was reading some comments from people who are for the full voice acting, but they still say Link should not. They should just keep him quiet. I
I,
I don't know.
yeah, go ahead.
I don't know. At this point, I'm like, if you're gonna do it all the way. At this point, just just please find somebody good, please. That's all I ask, please. Just find somebody believable and not boy bandish.
Right.
Yeah. Floor is yours.
Um, I kind of like the whole silent protagonist thing with Link because it lets you project yourself onto him. You know, instead of him saying whatever and whatever, you can kind of process through what you think you should say, what you would say, things like that. So I like the whole silent protagonist deal.
Okay. All right. So, like I say, I can see it going both ways. So, I'm kind of like, I'm kind of agree with both sides of that, actually. Um,
Right.
but it's just one of those situations where I'm like, they did a good job because I was scared. I'm not gonna lie. When I heard that they were doing voice acting, I'm like, oh god, because this could go either real good or real sideways quick. And honestly, I liked it. It was not bad. So the characters that they had talking, I thought they did a great job. So that leads to this. Now I was talking to a good buddy of ours, Mrs. T of the Mrs. T show, and he was saying that it's probably time for us to have like other playable characters. Um, let me hear what you got to say on this one first.
I don't think that's a bad idea. I don't know if you could call it like a mainline Legend of Zelda at that point because Legend of Zelda basically is Link. But I'm not at all opposed to maybe Link takes a back seat for a little while. Maybe Zelda dons the whole Sheik garb and comes out and does her thing.
Mhm.
Anything like that, I'm okay with that.
Okay, me,
But
me, I'm like this. If you do it this way, like say you have a game in which you have where you get to play as Ganon, as Zelda, and as Link, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. To see like I guess three stories or three different viewpoints of the story. Put it like that. Um, as far as like other like characters like the Rito or the Gorons or the Zoras, I would like to do that, but I would like to do it as a side story, not as like a mainline story. You see what I'm saying? Because I think that would be a little bit
yeah,
better for that. Because I wouldn't want to, because in the mainline Zelda, I wanted to focus on those three main characters. Because when it's a Legend of Zelda game, the three main characters are Link, Zelda, and Ganondorf. It revolves around those three. So if it's a mainline Zelda game, okay, I can see them doing that. But if you want to do like a spinoff where you get to fight as like, or you get to take places like other characters or other races, I would rather that be a spinoff, preferably done by EAD or Koei Tecmo. But just as a spinoff type situation and go from there because I do enjoy like I did enjoy Hyrule Warriors a lot. I think people know that about me. I enjoy that game a lot. So I wouldn't mind like a more of a spin-off way where you get to play with like the different races because we do hear and especially in this game you hear a lot about how badass some of these races are like you especially like the Gerudo and you get to hear about how true they are on the battlefield. So I would like to like see a story, probably based like on what they have to go through, what the Zoras, how the Zoras fight and all of that. So that's where I fall on the whole multiplayer on other playable characters type deal.
yeah. Plus, it would give you the opportunity you've been longing for, Jay, to get your hands on Urbosa.
Man, don't get my hopes up. Not get my hopes up, man. Yeah, but that being said, all right. Look, I'm just gonna put this out here. Look, Nintendo, y'all wrong for that. When you finally get to go into the Gerudo City, you understand why all them dudes was trying to break into the Gerudo City. They played it. They kind of played it for laughs, but you's like, okay, dude, y'all just okay, Nintendo. I see what y'all did. Y'all just kind of y'all.
Mm.
But I did think it was funny. Did you ever go to the classroom in Gerudo Town?
Uh, yeah, I did.
Dude, was that not the funniest thing? You walk in on the chalkboard, they teach you how to how to seduce a vote.
I don't think I even read that. I didn't even see that.
It's like it was on the chalkboard. It's like two people in there, and they're like going over their what they're supposed to say to a male. It's
Mhm.
hilarious. So that's in Gerudo City. Like if you go to like one of the back alley, one of the side alleys on the side streets, and it's like in the back, it's funny. It's a funny little exchange because there's a couple of side quests too that involve a heart shaped pond and a Gerudo and
Mhm.
a Hylian, and it's that part. But that exchange was funny. Because the Gerudo, they're all women, but they're all like they're all Amazonian basically. So a normal dude would more than likely be a little bit intimidated, to say the least, because they're pretty much, for the most part, they're all warriors. That's the vibe you get anyway. So a normal Hylian male is probably going to be like, I want to holler at her, but I don't want to, I want to take it easy on me.
I don't want to climb.
This officer she
Yeah,
killed.
I don't
You know?
want to. I don't want to climb that mountain today.
Yeah. But so in this, it plays off. It's kind of funny because like when you go into the town, it's kind of the same thing. They're kind of thinking the same way because they're like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do and say to get a man, and it's hilarious how that whole exchange goes down. It's just freaking awesome and funny, by the way. But
I'll
that's
have
just
to
one
check
of
it
the
out.
things that I actually like about the different races because each race is unique, and I'm glad that they did that. Now, getting to these unique races, man, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I liked the Rito Village, but I fucking hate Rivali. I hate that dude. I hate him with a passion. I'm glad he got killed. I was about to walk back out when the whole wind blight Ganon thing was, and it was going through telling you like, he killed me 100 years ago. You got to avenge me. I was about to walk back out. Like, oh, you killed him? Thank you, dude. No, you deserved it. God, I hate that dude, man. Dude's like a
But
freaking.
he's got good voice acting though. I'll give him that.
Oh yeah, he does because he makes you hate him.
Oh yeah. Oh
he
yeah.
he makes you. I'm like, dude. He sat up there like, I can't even believe I have to say this. You need to avenge me. I ain't got to do nothing.
Did you see the video online? There was this one chick that was doing like a live playthrough on Twitch, and she beat the game. And it happened that Rivali's voice actor was actually watching, and then sent her like a congratulatory message as Rivali.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know it was pretty awesome. So like, I see you used my gear. Well, I see you couldn't do it without me. I didn't have any chance in the world.
I'd be like, hold on. First of all, asshole, no. That's when you slip out and forget. Yeah, he was my most. I just I couldn't stand him. Was there anyone that you didn't like?
I don't think there's anyone I didn't like aside from Rivali. I mean, he was a bit of an asshole. I mean, the only people I didn't like in the game were all kind of like Rito.
Oh,
That's
okay,
the thing.
that's messed up. Like they made them. They made them like that.
I know they did.
I'm like this whole race. I'm like, first of all, y'all walking KFCs are about to get done up.
Walk in five pieces.
I know, like man, y'all keep talking trash. All right, nah. Y'all looking kind of tasty right now. I got some chicken legs in my doggone inventory. Don't think I'm gonna use this bow. But yeah, other than that, like the weirdest thing though, I had to say the weirdest interaction is Mifa. That
Yeah, it's a little weird.
her whole being in love, like seriously.
Yeah, it's like you're like part shark and I'm like a human. I don't know how that would work,
And
but okay.
Leave it to the honest trailer guys to actually say that. But it's because like when you go to the when you go to Zora Domain, beautiful how they set that up. By the way, I'm actually loving the art style, the cell shade art style that they did because they made it look realistic and fantasy at the same time, and I actually like that. But you go to Zora's Domain, and like when you first go, all the older Zorans hate Link. They know it's him, and they hate him. And the reason being because they think it was because of him that Mifa died, and you couldn't find out that not only did Mifa like Link, she was damn near in love with him.
No, I think she was. That was the whole story behind like his knitted Zora tunic she spent so much time on, and that's not something that Zora females do unless they plan to like get married to the person they're doing for.
Yeah, and I'm talking about it fit after 100 years.
Right.
Yeah. Psycho much? But yeah, that was unique. I loved Daruk. Daruk is my boy. The Gorons.
Yeah, Daruk is pretty awesome.
Yeah, the Gorons are awesome. Even though I hate having to do that freaking I hate having to do that part because first of all, it's in a volcano. Not cool. When you're low on weapons and the only thing you got is a couple wood weapons. Not really cool. Let's just say I had to make a stop to the Lost Woods.
Right. Again, I think that's your fault.
Yeah, I know it's my fault. How was I supposed to know I'm going to wind up in the middle of a volcano? I saw that big spider monkey looking thing on the outside of the volcano, not in it.
Well, you could have looked up and been like, oh yeah, that's right. The Gorons love really hot spaces. It's probably a good chance that I need metal weapons.
In my defense, I did have a lot of frost elemental weapons. In my defense.
All right, well, that helps.
But they all broke because I went a little bit nuts and tried to fight an igneous Talus. And yeah, let's just say I used a lot of them. But that being said.
Now, with those, you need... with all the taluses, it really helps to just use blunt weapons, sledgehammers, and like the blunt swords.
Yeah, I kind of during the course of that particular fight, I figured that out because I did have a sledgehammer.
Mm-hmm.
So I did because I cooled them off, and then because I couldn't get near them first, so I lit them up with a couple of ice arrows and a frozen spear to the face, and then I went at them with the sledgehammer because by that point my frost spirit broke. I was down to like 3 ice arrows, and I was really hurting. Weapons-wise, that is. But once again, I prevailed by sheer luck and the ability to run. I tend to do that a lot in this game.
See, I have the opposite reaction. Like, I need to bash my head into it over and over again until I can do it perfectly.
Oh, well,
which is why
I can do that now. But at the beginning, when I sucked and I didn't have anything with proper defense, yeah, it was hit and run tactics.
Well, so even then, like when I was telling you to tackle that one shrine that was like a major test of strength, which apparently is the hardest one of the game. When I started going there, I think I had 7 hearts, maybe, and like maybe 1-star upgraded armor at that. And I was persistent. I was going to go and go and go until I got it perfectly and take the thing down.
Okay, that's like me and that Lionel I fought in the Coliseum when right after you told me about Lionel's, and I went into the Coliseum and I had like a 1-star on my champion's tunic, and yeah, me and him went toe to toe.
Was it a red one or a blue one?
That was a red one.
Red one. Okay, the red ones are pretty easy.
No, but at the first beginning of the game, at the first beginning, I think I only had 5 hearts.
Yeah, that makes it a little harder.
Yeah, and I did have a 10-minute defense recipe that I used, and it took me all of 10 minutes because I had like 55 seconds left when he finally died. And I had just broke my last weapon. So I was like, how the hell am I going to beat this thing? And that's when I figured out that it's probably a good idea to go shrine hunting and get a lot of hearts, because I'm gonna need that if I run into any one of these
Yeah.
side bosses, these mid bosses.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is that's another thing I actually like. I actually like the fact that there are mid boss. You can just run into a mid boss by accident, really. You know, Taluses. I run into Taluses, and just because I was walking or I was looking for something,
Uh-huh.
and I kind of like that and hate that at the same time, because if you're low on stuff, if you're low on prep stuff, and you're just like walking around because you're trying to find something, and you run into one, that could be a problem. But if you're good to go, you know, it's fun. It become a lot of fun.
Right.
Like
That's
walking into a
that's
line.
that's one thing that the director of the game said that they really liked about Hover Warriors was that, you would have these bosses that could go anywhere on the map and you had to fight them. So he kind of wanted to go with that school of thought with like Taluses and Hinox, Molduga in the Gerudo Desert, things like that.
Hmm.
So
So
I mean, and Lionels, I don't even know if I consider them mid bosses. I think the hardest enemies in the game, to be honest, is the Lionels. But even then, they're fairly plentiful. You just need to know where to go to look.
yeah, that is true. Now let me ask you, which one do you like fighting the most? Lionels?
Yeah, I like fighting them the most definitely because they give you a little bit of a challenge.
And they give you a hell of a lot of loot that I need to freaking upgrade my barbarian armor to the last star. I'm maxing that
Oh yeah,
barbarian armor out, man. I gotta get like
exactly. You get great weapons, great shields from them, and then like their guts and things are great for maxing out your armor.
yep. Because I gotta get 8 more hooves to max out my barbarian armor to my whole set to be complete. So yeah, doing that. Now
Well, northwest of the Death Mountain. That's where I recommend. Right behind it.
coming over there by the gut check post.
By the gut check post.
Yeah, you know where the gut check little challenge is. You talking about over there on the northwest side?
Oh yeah. But you would go further to the west from the gut check challenge.
Oh, okay. Okay. That reminds me, I gotta do that. I
Yeah, so it's
gotta
like
finish that.
it's at the base of the mountain. This is this big long stretch where it's like there's this big flat area. I on one side is the mountain, on the other side is a big drop off, and there's like an old dragon skeleton back there or something.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah. The other Leviathan.
yeah. There's tons and tons of Lionels back that way, so you just have to go and search, and they
Challenge
respawn every
accepted.
blood moon. Yeah.
Challenge accepted. So, oh, and
Wait till
yes,
you get the silver ones.
challenge will be ran away from then until I'm ready for that one, because I gotta work myself up for that one. But the blood moons, should they be a staple? Yes or no?
uh, I don't know. There isn't really a schedule on them, and apparently, the more stuff you kill, the more the more frequent the blood moon is because there's one shrine where you have to activate it, where you have to strip down naked and jump onto this pad like during a blood moon. And I kept like resetting time to night with it nearby a campfire,
Uh-huh.
but for some reason I couldn't trigger the blood moon at all. So it was like 7, 8 days or whatever of resetting this and just wouldn't come. So I go out and I kill a few things and then bam, the blood moon happens. So it's weird and infrequent. So if they're going to continue to do that, I mean, it's not a terrible idea that everything regenerates, including like mining deposits and weapons and things.
Mhm.
But not a terrible idea, but it needs a little more.
Refining on
What's
it.
the word I'm looking for here? Frequency.
Yeah. Okay. 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 Because
Yeah.
my only problem with a blood moon is like at the first beginning of the game. Like for instance, you know when I beat that first line and I was happy with myself, I was feeling good. You want to know what happened
Right.
10 seconds after that?
Blood moon.
Blood moon. You want to know who formed right behind me while I was trying to get the rest of my stuff?
That is so
Yeah.
funny.
It was like, because when you're in the Coliseum, you know, there's a lot of enemies on every level because they got like weapon It's actually a good place to go get weapons, but the Lionel's on the bottom, so you have to kill him first, basically, to get up to the different levels of the Coliseum to get access to some of those weapons. So I killed him, and I noticed like while we were fighting, I I didn't know what the embers were at first because I had only been in a blood moon like once or twice. I didn't really know what it actually did,
Mm-hmm.
and so I finally kill him. And when he dropped all his stuff, and I'm picking it up, the whole cutscene happens with Zelda's talking about Link is a blood moon, be careful, all that stuff. And I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. And I when we come back from the cutscene, he's back and right on top of me. And I'm like, I just killed you. Which, that led to me teleporting the hell out of there. Because I'm like, I'm not doing this again because I don't have any. I use some of my best stuff to withstand the fight to begin with, and I'm down to like one weapon, and it's only like a little Boko club that's a 4, and that ain't gonna last, not against him. So yeah, that was like my whole, my first funny, real understanding of a blood moon. Now, me personally, I like the idea, but I'm like you, either set how this is gonna go, or kind of fine tune it a little bit, so I at least have an
Right.
idea. Because I have had 2 blood moons happen back to back. I did something one night. Matter of fact, it was the first night I got one of the dragon parts. It was
Mm-hmm.
for Roche at the Hylia Bridge. I finally got a part that next. That was at like 4 in the morning. That next night, it was a blood moon. I'm like, okay, that's weird. Then the next night after that, I was going to. I was in Gerudo and a blood moon happened again. I'm like, hold on now. But then I didn't see another one for like 3 or 4 in-game days. I'm like, really?
Yeah, I think it all depends on how much stuff you kill,
Yeah.
to be honest. Also, I want to mention, since you mentioned barbarian armor, that
Mm-hmm.
you're going to need a horn off of each one of those 3 dragons, by the way.
This is gonna be fun.
Yeah. And you did discover the 3rd dragon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I got Nidra, and I know where she is. As a matter of fact, I was gonna go do that today. I was gonna try to go farm her horns today.
I got you.
Yeah, the only one I'm having trouble with is like Denral. I know where he is. I just can't hit him. It's kind of annoying. I think I need to go to another spot where he is, because he's in like 2 different spots. In the one spot that I think I have a good shot at him at, he doesn't come to like in the middle of the night, and them stall bokoblins or whatever, they get on my nerves. So
Yeah,
um
go to the Leviathan skeleton that we just talked about.
and then yeah, okay. That makes sense. Because I kind of figured, I'm like, he has
Yeah.
to be in another spot that I'm not knowing about. Because all of them have like 2 or 3 different spots that they go to.
Right.
You just gotta
That's
find
where
the
I go
best
to
one.
get that's where I go to hit him for parts.
Okay. Okay. Well, that gives me a plan then. All right. And that's another thing. You have to, some of the stuff you actually need to have a plan for before you do it. Which is awesome and somewhat scary sometimes when you have to think out, okay, like, how am I going to attack this? And this is for a side quest.
Right.
So yeah, I actually like the idea of how they've done this. Going forward, I think they should try to keep that going. Especially with some of the stuff that they did in the game. The only other thing that I probably would hope that they do is like, if we can find out like how long the durability is on some of these weapons, because I swear the durability jumps to some weapons before they break. I swear they do. Sometimes they last a little bit longer. Sometimes they don't. So if there was like a defined way I could figure that out, and I'm pretty sure somebody in the comments will tell me, but you know, That's the only probably other thing that I like. I like the fact that weapons do break. It gives you some strategy to have to use, especially when you're in a firefight with a blue rhino that has a very big bat,
Hmm.
and you keep forgetting to use stasis plus. But that being said, uh, it will probably go a long way, especially for me, just to know like, okay, if I'm using this, I only got like 10 shots. I got to make these shots count before it breaks, and then I can just throw it at his head, something like that. But any other thoughts you would like to give, Mr. Butterworth, before we get out of here?
Um, no thoughts on Zelda, but I will recommend if you've had your fill of Zelda or are taking a break, you should definitely pick up Monster Boy on Switch. It's excellent.
The one from Sega, right? The
Yeah.
Sega remake.
Y- Yeah, the remake. I mean, I
Uh,
played the original way back in the day. I never really beat it or anything, but I
mhm.
mean, this one, it looks like a '90s Disney cartoon in HD.
Awesome.
It's great. I really enjoyed it. I beat it last night, which was sad, but still.
Well, those games weren't meant to last like 50 hours, though.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So, how long did it take? Like an hour and a half?
No, no, it took me a few hours. It took me
Okay.
actually probably about six, maybe 6 or 7.
Oh, okay, okay. So it's one. Okay, so that's good though.
Yeah, there was a bit of dying and exploration going on while I was trying to power up, but yeah.
Okay, cool. Because that's actually on my list. It's on my list, but I kind of got a couple other things that I want to get before I get that one. So, yeah, but yeah, they do have a nice little selection on the Switch if you guys are looking for different stuff. Because the Neo Geo collection, they keep getting bigger every week. Thank you, Neo Geo, because you know good and well I wasn't gonna buy your system. It was too expensive.
And if you happen to follow me on Twitter, I post about the lack of windjammers every single week on Thursday.
They're gonna wind up putting it up there one week, and you're not even gonna know it's there.
I will know because I check every Thursday. I'm like, is windjammers? No, no windjammers. Fine.
Because
And
they
then I
are
tweeted Nintendo America about it.
they are putting a lot of stuff on. Because like some of the stuff, I'm like, I remember that game. I didn't think. I'm like, how do they know who had the license for this? But you
Right?
know, I'm not complaining. Thank you. Can we get a Fatal Fury? The next one, not the first one. I kind of hate the first one. Can we get the Fatal Fury too? Um,
Mark of the Fatal Fury 2. Yeah, yeah, that one was great. They're also
yeah,
going to be bringing Mark of the Wolves, I believe, soon.
yeah, yeah. Because at first I didn't see it, but then I saw it when they did the headlines for the. It was in one of the headlines for the direct they did last week. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I had that one on Dreamcast. That was a great game.
See, I never got to play it, so that's one of the ones I'm looking forward to. So, yeah. Hey, they look like they have a lot of good stuff, especially coming down the pipeline. So I hope you guys are enjoying it. But that will do it for this little discussion. I'll probably have to do another one, seeing as how I am a huge Metroid fan, and I just had some ideas of how they can make a Metroid work on the Switch.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I will be doing a Metroid type discussion soon, and probably a Kid Icarus one too. Seeing as how we still got an animated needs to get made. Nintendo chop chop. Um, so yeah, I'll probably be doing a couple of them on a couple of their older franchises that they could probably, you know, bring back. And if time permits, I'll probably do an F-Zero one. I know I said that, kind of reluctantly, but yeah, if time permits, I'll probably do one. But that being said, hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys on the next vid. Peace out, peeps.
Daruke's protection is now ready to roll.